Now in this section I'm going to talk about EIGRP authentication. Although I have shown you how you can compare EIGRP authentication in CCNA lab sessions, but because this is part of CCNP route, I have to say it again, and I will add some more details here. Now, before going on to EIGRP authentication, I want to show you some interesting points that I have missed in previous section, and that's about EIGRP timers on frame relay cloud. For this, I go to router 1, go to privilege mode, and I will show IP EIGRP interface, and I'm going to have detail interface of 00. And you can see that here on the LAN section you have 5 seconds between each hello. But for serial 00, that is on a frame relay connection, you can see that it is 60 seconds by default. Of course, you can change this value at any time, and if you want to have faster convergence, you can make it less. If you want to have longer convergence, or the convergence is not an issue for you, you can increase it as much as you need. So this is the assumption that frame relay connections are slow, and for this I am not congesting the bandwidth using my low hello intervals. Okay, now let's go back to EIGRP authentication, and the first thing that you need to have for EIGRP authentication is a keychain. So you need keychains, and the keychain can have several keys, and they have key numbers. The lower the key number, the better for EIGRP. You can see that EIGRP prefers the lower key number, so if you have, for example, key number 1, 2, 3, EIGRP will try key number 1 first, and then go to key number 2 if it is there is a mismatch. So I'm going to talk about this right now. I'm going to name this keychain EIGRP. The first key that I'm going to use is key number 1, and if there is a key mismatch between two routers, you can see that this is gonna be an issue, and the adjacency is not going to work. So I go to key number 1, and I will add a key string here, and I type in, for example, Cisco in capital. And now one mistake that you may make is this: you press a space and you type in a question mark to see if there is any other option I need to enter. You can see nothing except a line that is telling me whatever you type in is password. So you hit enter, and now you have a password of Cisco plus a space. So space is a valid character for a password in keychain. So if you want to see what keychain is available in your running config, or what is the key numbers or the key string, you can type in show keychain, and you can see that I have one key and the key number is 1, and the text is Cisco plus a space here. So space is assumed to be part of the password. So I want to go back to this end line, and I want to remove this space, although I do not have to do this, but I want to remove it, and I hit enter, and now that I can see the keychain has only the Cisco as its password, and Cisco is in capital, of course. And the next thing that you should know is this: accept lifetime is always valid, and because I haven't specified any lifetime for this, if I want to have a lifetime, I should type in question mark, and I can see that accept lifetime is here, send lifetime is here. The send lifetime means I send this password as long as the send lifetime is valid, and the accept lifetime is this: if I am going to use this keychain and you are sending such password to me, I will accept it as long as I specify here. So I'm not going to talk about this. Let's go to interface and add the commands that enable the authentication under the interface. And you should know that the authentication of EIGRP is enabled under interface configuration only. So I go to interface, for example, fast00, and first of all I want to see if there is any adjacency for this interface. So I can use two different commands. For example, do show IP EIGRP interfaces will tell me that I have one pair over this, and of course it doesn't tell me which router is gonna be is paired with me on this interface. I can go and type in show EIGRP neighbors, and you can see that on this fast 00 I have a neighbor that is 10.0.16.6, and I know that this is switch 2. So I start typing in the commands IP authentication, and this tells me that I need to have two pieces of information. First of all, I need to add the keychain, and this is gonna be for EIGRP AS100, and the keychain name is EIGRP in capital. And the next part of information, I press Ctrl W several times, and I type in IP authentication mode, and the mode is for EIGRP 100 AS, and it is gonna be the only option that we have, MD5. So I have two pieces of information here, so two commands here. Let's check this to show run interface fast 00, and now you can see that I have IP authentication mode configured and IP authentication keychain configured. And now you can see that the neighbor is down because it doesn't send me any authentication information. Let's go to privilege mode and start debugging. If I type in debug IP EIGRP, and now you can see that I have summary, notification, neighbor, or anything else. I want to have this for AS100. Let's see what I have here. I can have everything here. I'm going to have IP route events debugging on, and now this is for routes, and I want to have for example notifications or summary or anything. I want to have this summary debug on again, and you can see that the IGRP is down because I can see no hello with the authentication that I need. Let's go to switch 2 and configure authentication there. Here I want to go and create a keychain, and the first thing that I want to do is this. I'm going to have another name for the keychain and see if it has an effect on the adjacency. Instead of EIGRP, I type in EIGRP, for example, key 1. This is the name of the keychain. I use the same key number. I'm going to have the key number 1, and I'm going to say Cisco is the password. And now I need to add this interface VLAN 16, that is the interface that is going to create the adjacency here. So I type in IP authentication, and the keychain for EIGRP AS100 is gonna be this. I type this, and again this is gonna be MD5, and this is gonna be mode, and I type in this, and now after a while I should see some messages here. You can see that the adjacency is working, and now you can see a lot of message here. This is a very noisy debug, and you can see that routes are accepted from the neighbor, and this is because the key number is the same and the key is the same. So the key name is not important, the keychain name is not important for creating the adjacency, but the key number and the key string is important. You know that the key string is important, but I'm going to change the key number and see the effect. So I type in this. First of all, I remove no keychain, and now I again add this keychain here, and now going to have key number 2, and the key string is gonna be Cisco. And now I have the same keychain but with a different key number, and let's go to router 1 and see what we see here. It tells me the authentication is failed because I do not have the same key number, and let's see if there is a message here that tells me such thing. I cannot find such message, but if you want to, check the problem, you should first go and check the keychain and key numbers and anything that is related to the keys. So I come and change the keychain and router 1. I go to configuration mode and I go to keychain Eigrp here, and keychain is gonna be separate words, and I'm going to add a key number 2 here, and the key string is gonna be Cisco. And now that I have the second key on router 1, let's see if there is an authentication here. You can see that the adjacency is accepted. So as I told you, the lower key number is preferred, but router 1 checks the keys that switch 2 sends it, and it tells that there is no key number 1 on switch 2's keychain, and it is the key 2 that switch 2 has sent me. And I have a key number 2 here with the same password, so I accept the authentication. This is the authentication of Eigrp.